Good morning, fellow Forex traders. It is November 7th, Wednesday, 2018, and I wanted to get up on here and just kind of update things since last night's midterm elections here in the US. We had some pretty whippy price action, and I think there's some new trends that are forming, particularly in the US dollar. It's notable. So let's dive in real quick and go over what's happening. You can see here is last night where election results were coming through. At first, there was this knee-jerk reaction where Democrats thought there was going to be a huge, what they were calling it a blue wave, and then some skepticism that was actually correct. We saw a dive back down here. This is the euro dollar, obviously. And then it became more clear, increasingly clear, that Democrats were definitely going to win the House of Representatives while the Republicans retained the Senate. Another correction here, right down to this 114.32 zone, and a pop higher. So I was stopped out of my euro shorts. I got whipped around, let's see, once or twice, I know for sure, trying to trade through this. But eventually, somewhere in this zone here, I think I'm long for about 114.45. I got on board with the general price action, Democrats taking the House, and I'm still long holding these. And I think it's kind of the trade du jour right now. If we look at the US dollar itself, remember, I've been talking about this support level. It worked well for a while until last night. It fell right through. So at this point, I'd have to zoom out to the daily and say, okay, well, this is really kind of the area we need to be looking in for potential support. And if that fails, well, we've got, this bottom here, which coincided. We could probably take this out to right here. Pretty darn close. Let's call it right there. Probably 94 zone. The 200-day moving average would be moving right up there. So if this fails, we'd be looking down here to the 94 area for potential support. It'd be pretty interesting, right? If we're looking at a longer term, higher time frame euro dollar chart, we are seeing, there's definitely resistance overhead here. There's the 115 mark, which was support. Not much here in terms of support, but right here again, congestion here. So it's no surprise that we kind of backed off that earlier today. I wouldn't be surprised, given the momentum that we've seen, excuse me, in this move, if we do poke above that and we start trading up into the 50 and 100-day moving averages here in the high 115s. That's kind of what I'm expecting at this point. You can see more of that, granular momentum as we come down time frames. The moving average is turning higher on the hourly chart. Same thing on the 15-minute chart. 4-hour chart, again, you see that 200 bar moving average coming in right around the 115, what is that, 115.10 zone. So there's definitely some wood to chop through that area. And I'll be watching it closely, but I don't feel like now is the time to cover, especially with equities opening soon. We see that, let's get over here to equity futures. NASDAQ's trading up overall. Let's see, the close was, gosh, I don't even know. It's somewhere in here yesterday, or here. So trading up overall. I mean, you can see this is a big move from the elections last night, and same with S&P 500 trading up. So it's going to be definitely a positive open for U.S. equities, and I'll be curious what that does to the dollar. But let's jump back to some Forex charts here real quick. You can see pretty much across the board, the dollar is weaker, right? Dollar CAD remains sloppy to me. I'm not touching it. I talked about an Aussie trade in my last video, saying, a stop loss below this 72.05. We're actually taking it from looking at the 15-minute chart. We were way back here. So stop loss below this level, 72.05-ish. If you were smart about it and you were at 72.05, you would not have been stopped out there. just barely, and it's been a nice ride, right? Um, 80, 85 pips or so. I also talked about a dollar yen long, which has not performed as well. It's just been getting whipped around. Unless you were pretty agile in here, you're sitting at probably about break even on that trade. I did not like that one, the risk reward profile, as much as the Australian dollar is, because we had this resistance here that we have to contend with. I haven't touched the sterling, continues to climb for the most part above this daily trend line now. So look out for that. Again, there's a headline risk. We could probably put some kind of resistance coming in here. See how that holds up, if it does at all. But I don't like that chart as much. It's a little bit sloppier. And look at sterling yen hitting right against, let's see, send this backward if we can. Right up to that resistance we drew in the last video. Not looking for shorts here again, and this is just sloppy. There's no real trend. If you could have, a relatively tight stop loss if you want to put it above here, and relatively tight for sterling yen is 100 pips or so right here. I don't love it. It's a daily chart. I'd much prefer seeing something, it does kind of look weak up here, but sterling yen has a tendency to do that. So be careful if you're trading that pair. And then euro sterling is trying to bottom here. But again, the UK headline risk I'm not a huge fan of. There's no clear kind of support holding anywhere here. I think the really smart plays right now, the smartest plays I should say, are the euro is a nice trend developing higher, and the Australian dollar is nice, right? You see these trending moving averages, and there's a lot to like there. Let's get rid of that, but we're a little bit elevated at these levels, so I'd wait for either a correction or a breakout to new highs before doing anything. But right now I'm holding long euro dollar, and it's kind of the play I'm in right now, and that's what I'm looking at. All right, well, if we have a lot of action after today, I'll do another video, but if not, just hang in there and trade smart. Try to avoid any event risk is the name of the game. Take care.